All right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to our fellow ISCT members listening around the world. We are truly spanning the globe with this month's member spotlight, as I have the honor of speaking with Dr. Chaiyong Koaykul in Thailand. Hopefully, that is halfway decent pronunciation. I apologize. Coming from Thailand. So, Dr. Chaiyong is a lecturer on the Faculty of Medicine at Chulalongkorn University and the Deputy Director of the Excellence Center for Advanced Therapy Medicinal Products at the King Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital, Thai Red Cross Society. So notably, he is also the winner of this year's ISCT Trailblazer Award for Emerging Markets and was presented with that prize in New Orleans in May. I could spend the whole time just chronicling the achievements of Chaiyong and all he has done to help advance cell and gene therapy in Asia and Thailand specifically. But hopefully you will get a profound sense of his work and how well-deserved this award was from our conversation today. So Chaiyong, congratulations on your award and all your great work. And so thank you for chatting with me today. It's great to connect finally. So to start, I wanted to hear about your experience as a major award winner at the ISCT Annual Meeting. Like, how was that experience for you? You know, were there special events you got to attend? Any memorable interactions you had with other award winners? How was it?
Yeah, so thank you for the question. So I'm truly grateful of this recognition. It represents a significant milestone in my career and staying in my commitment to advancing cell gene therapies. Receiving the Trailblazer in the plenary hall in front of the distinguished international audience was both humbling and incredibly exciting. Standing alongside fellow award recipients, accomplished leaders, those research have long respect, highlight the importance of this honor and strong community that support our work. So, right after the ceremony, many senior colleagues and professionals in the field came to me to graduate and share their thoughts. So, this main meaningful conversation have already created the new opportunity for collaboration and will help strengthen Thailand position in the global CGT communities. And then the next day, I was invited to have lunch with the president, ISCT president, and author society leaders. This setting allow us to have in-depth discussion about developing our workforce and building capacity in different regions. So their valuable insight and their commitment to supporting initiative in emerging markets have inspired several practical ideas and that I am excited to implement back in Asia. So this entire experience reinforced how ICT truly foster connection that can transform our field and improve patient healthcare worldwide.
That's fantastic. I'm so glad you had a good experience. I think those being an award winner like that and getting that unique like one-on-one time with other ISCT leaders and other award winners is just so special. So I'm so glad you got to take advantage of that. So for members, I mean, maybe it could be the first time that I know this meeting, I just saw some data from it. And I think there were 40 to 50% of attendees, like this was their first meeting ever, their first annual meeting ever. So I'm thinking we have some people who may not know you. So I'm thinking like for members outside of Asia, can you give us some insight into the current state of, cell and gene therapy there, your work?
Sure. So Asia have the strong economic growth the strong economic growth is driving impressive advance in cell gene therapies innovation. Countries like Japan, South Korea, China, Singapore, India, and increasing Thailand are building the regulatory framework and infrastructure needed to support the entire CGT development process. While each nation moves its own pace and follow its own regulatory approach, they all share the same important goals, that is making CT a core part of their national healthcare system and innovation strategies. So we are exciting to see the collaboration between the academic research center, public-private partnership, and target government funding and promoting regulatory policy that are working together to speed up the progress. So this combined effort creating a strong foundation of the CT development across the region. For example, in Thailand, so we are building the core CT certified manufacturing facility and establishing the National Translational Research Center that will help the cell gene therapy product move smoothly from the laboratory research to the clinical trial and actual patient treatment. So this represent the kind of the comprehensive approach that many Asian countries are taking to ensure they can both develop and deliver this advanced therapy to their population. So the momentum across the Asia is really encouraging, and I believe we are entering the period where the region will play the increasingly important role in the global CT innovation and patient access.
That's fantastic. That's definitely the sense that I was getting too, is just that the pace of development in the region and the pace of translation of novel therapies is just skyrocketing, right? There's so many new opportunities coming up that I think people need to start. If you haven't tuned in yet, you need to start tuning in to what's happening wherever you are around the world. So you mentioned a couple like really exciting things. So I was hoping you could expand on that. So both, what are some challenges for CGT in the region and also, promising development, some of which you kind of already alluded to, but I'm curious.
Yeah. So in the Asia, the CT field is growing rapidly, but it still have the face of the major challenge. So I think it's around 4 major challenges. So the first is about the regulatory. Difference between country create a barrier that increase both time and cost for the cross-border collaboration and move therapy from the research to clinical use. So each country has its own approval process, making the regional development more and complex. So that is the one major challenge. And the second is the limited funding source remain a significant obstacle. So the early stage grant and venture funding often fall short of what need to build and validate proper the GMP manufacturing facility. Additionally, uncertainty about the clinical trial result, insurance coverage, and also the reimbursement make the private sector hesitate to commit. That is the second one. And the third one is about the skilled workforce shortage present across the region. Even manufacturing facilities are available. There are shortage of the high skill process developers or the GMP trained operator, quality control specialists, and the regulatory scientists, and also the inspector. That lead the expensive delay and high staff turnover. So, and the last one is about the supply chain. Supply chain vulnerabilities affect most countries as essential material like the culture media, growth factor, plasticware, or the quality control kit must be import, and this create a long time for the required duplicate tests and which significantly increase the cost. So despite this challenge, we are seeing encouraging the process. So regulatory agencies are starting to work together more closely, particularly to the harmonization effort across the Asia Pacific region. There are also strong momentum in the establishing the national GMP facility, competitive train program, and robust clinical development pipeline. So the growing interesting in the next generation therapy like the exosome or the allogeneic mesenchymal stem cell or gene modified treatment represent the exciting shift toward more scalable and accessible solution that could better serve our diverse patient population across Asia.
Wow. Thank you so much for running through all those challenges because that really helps us get a better picture of what you're dealing with, what you're trying to improve in the region, right, with your work. Because I'm not sure people, maybe people don't know, but you are the ISCT Asia Regional ESP Subcommittee co-chair. And so I see a lot of work from you and your committee on LinkedIn and publicized, about what you've been working on, to advance CGT in your region. So I was hoping you could share with the broader membership group, how have you been working to fight some of those challenges and advance CGT in your region? And are there any initiatives you wish to highlight for the rest of us?
Yeah. So as the co-chair of the ICT Asia Regional Early Stage Professional Subcommittee, so I'm proud to work alongside with my colleague, Dr. Srivito Bari from the Singapore, and our diverse team member from many countries across the Asia, for example, the Singapore, India, Japan, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Vietnam, South Korea. Yes. And our primary mission is to bridge the gap between the cutting-edge cell gene therapy research and the clinical implementation throughout our region. So one of our key initiatives have been developing the comprehensive educational webinar series that addressing the unique challenge facing the CGT development in Asia. This webinar bring the scientific industry, clinician, and regulatory experts from across the region to share knowledge and best practice together. And we also have been working extensive on the network expansion and community building. Our subcommittee serves as the crucial link between the new early stage professional, regional leadership, and ICT headquarters, fostering the meaningful interaction that span in entire the Asian CT ecosystem. We organize the regional networking event and facilitate cross-border collaboration that leverage the Asia's significant clinical trial activity and emerging manufacturing capabilities. So our ultimate goal is to ensure the innovative CT work happening in the Asia reach the full potential to improve the patient life with a high quality product and also the contribute to the global advancement of this field.
I think that's so wonderful that ISCT has given you guys a platform, on which to organize, right? Like a way to actually bring together people from all these different countries. Like you said, that's one of the issues is sort of harmonizing across everything or every different country, right? And so at least through ISCT, you all have a seat at a table where you can discuss these things and, come to consensus on a lot of these, really big CGT issues. That leads so nicely into my next question, actually, because you spoke on this topic at a roundtable session in New Orleans. You had a roundtable entitled "Harmonizing CGMP Standards in APAC to Lower Costs." And so I was hoping you could kind of summarize for us that session and any key takeaways that we should know if we weren't able to go.
Yeah, sure. So our roundtable section addressing the critical challenge and opportunity for the reducing the CT manufacturing cost across the Asia Pacific region through the regulatory harmonization and strategic collaboration. So I have around five key takeaways from the discussion. So the first one is about the cost reduction strategy. So we identify the manufacturing cost can be significantly reduced to the two main approach. So first is the optimizing the production and quality control process and stemming the development cost. A major focus was on the reducing the raw material dependency, particularly the culture media cost, which can represent up to the 50% of the manufacturing expense. And the second is about the regulatory harmonization. So this panel emphasized the urgent need for the greater regulatory alignment across the APEC country. Currently, the fragmented regulatory framework created inefficient and delay. We discussed how mutual recognition of the clinical trial approvals and manufacturing standard could dramatically improve the access and reduce the cost. And the third one is about the manufacturing model. So we debate about the centralized versus point of care manufacturing approach, concluding that the optimal model depends on the specific therapy type. So for example, with the allogenic frozen products or the autologous frozen product, it's better suited for the centralized manufacturing, while the autologous fresh product or either the fresh product benefit from the hospital-based point of care production. However, both of them should qualify the GMP standard. And the fourth one is about the regional cooperation. So a major theme was the need for the increased collaboration between countries to pool the patient population for the clinical trial and share the regulatory expertise. This is particularly important for the rare disease where the individual country may not have such sufficient patient number. For example, the Singapore very small population, something like that. And the last one is about the technology and automation. So we discussed how automation and digitalization can reduce the long-term operation cost to emphasize that the importance of maintaining the flexibility in the raw material sourcing and avoiding the over dependence on the single supplier. So the consensus was to the coordinate effort in the regulatory harmonization, strategic the manufacturing approach, and regional cooperation. The APEC region can significantly reduce the CT cost while maintaining the quality standard. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for that. That's really valuable, I think, for our members to get that great summary of that session. I wish I had been there now. I think there are so many great opportunities that you're outlining in, the Asia Pacific region for collaboration, for harmonization. I think these discussions are going to become even more important to have, at ISCT meetings going forward. And hopefully we can all stay tuned into the work that your committee is doing, the rest of the ISCT committees based out of Asia are doing. Because I can just my wheels are already turning about so many opportunities that you've mentioned just in this meeting that unfortunately we don't have more time to get into, but I want to thank you so much for sharing. That was such a great rundown of all the work that you're doing and all the opportunities and challenges that you see in the APAC region. If people, hopefully like me, want to continue this conversation with you, connect with you, learn more, how should they do that? How should they connect with you?
Yeah, so I have the LinkedIn and also the Facebook. So you can search my name, the Chaiyong Koaykul, on that platforms, and please feel free to chat with me anytime. And also I also have the email as the chayong.k at the chula.ac.th. So you can also contact me with this email also.
Fantastic. If that's okay with you, I'll include that in the accompanying write-up for this video so people can go find that on the little article that's linked with this video on the ISCT website. Fantastic. All right. Well, Chaiyong, thank you so much again for chatting with me. I hope we can connect at an ISCT event in the future. And thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you very much.